Hi, this is Nicholas Bell with IONCINEMA, here to review The Unforgivable, the sophomore film directed by Nora Fingscheidt, which Netflix released theatrically November 24th, 2021, before it will be available streaming on their platform December 10th, 2021. Fingscheidt previously directed the 2019 film System Crasher, which competed in the Berlin Film Festival. This is a film based on a 3-episode miniseries from 2009 called The Unforgiven, written by Wainwright, and it's been in development for quite some time. Back in 2010, it was supposed to be a vehicle for Angelina Jolie, for instance. But here we have Sandra Bullock in her first role since Bird Box in 2018, also a Netflix film, playing a woman named Ruth Slater who has just been released from prison after a 20-year sentence, getting out early on good behavior for having killed a sheriff while her 5-year-old sister at the time had been watching. There's various details we learn about why that scenario happened, even though we probably need a lot more details to understand how they ended up in that situation. But she's obsessed with tracking down her sister, who's been adopted by a family played by Richard Thomas and Linda Emond. But the judge in this court case had a no contact order placed between the sisters, which also isn't really explained or how that's feasible considering the sister is now 25, etc. As an adult, the sister Catherine is played by Franciosi of Jennifer Kent's The Nightingale. We also learn that the 2 sons of the dead sheriff, Steve and Keith, played by Will Pullen and Tom Guiry, respectively, have considerable resentment built up over the years for concerning the death of their father and where their lives have ended up, and so are also trying to manipulate Ruth from the sidelines and make her life miserable, which increasingly leans into some violent tendencies, if you will. And at the same time, she's having trouble landing a job. She has a parole officer played by Rob Morgan who doesn't seem to be that emotionally supportive, if you will. She goes back to the home where everything happened, and she meets Vincent D'Onofrio and Viola Davis, who now live in the home. And Vincent D'Onofrio happens to be a lawyer who takes pity on her and offers to assist her in contacting her sister's adoptive parents. And of course, this all ends in a tragic showdown, if you will, with a resolution that seems somewhat fitting. Overall, this script, written by Peter Craig, Hilary Seitz, and Courtenay Miles, really cuts a lot of corners in as far as character development. Sandra Bullock's casting, while she gives a decent performance, seems all kinds of off, especially as in playing Ruth in the flashbacks from 20 years prior. We're completely distracted about how the age works between the sisters and how exactly a 25-year-old who has there's a no contact order isn't even aware of the contact order. It just throws all of this into chaos and causes the viewer to question kind of all the moving parts of this simple yet somehow overly cluttered and complicated story. And it actually is something that probably would breathe better across a 3-episode miniseries rather than crammed into this 1 hour, 54-minute film directed by Nora Fingscheidt, whose previous film, really focused on the relationship between 2 lead characters quite effectively, in that it spent all that time within those characters' immediacy, which you get none of here. And you'll be wondering where it's going all the time. It's set primarily in Seattle. For whatever reason, in my opinion, it felt like Boston based on kind of these cookie-cutter characters, and maybe might have you longing for something like Mayor of Easttown, if you will. Also, the housing situation that Ruth and her sister are involved in the flashbacks feels very much like the film Country, starring Sam Shepard and Jessica Lange. And again, we need just a few more details to understand how this works without being distracting. Overall, and also the look and tone. It was shot by Guillermo Navarro, who has shot 3 notable Guillermo del Toro films, including Kronos and Pan's Labyrinth and Pacific Rim. Just nothing quite matches up in this. And unfortunately, I would give The Unforgivable 2 out of 5 stars. Thank you.
Hey, this is Eric from IONCINEMA.com. If you want to support us, subscribe below. For more reviews, interviews, film festival coverage from Sundance, Cannes, Toronto, want to check out these guys on this side.